I forgot to cut off the end. I'm feeling like Doobie all of a sudden. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laughing Place TV morning news, whatever we call it. I am Kyle, still not Doobie, and Luke is back with me. Hi, Luke.
I'm also still not Doobie, and it's also not the morning for me. So
yeah, that's true.
A lot of contradictions.
Well, today we got a lot to talk about. We're going to have Jeremiah on in just a few minutes to talk about the Little Mermaid's live action debut at Disney parks around the world. We're also going to venture outside of Disney to talk about Universal and Knott's Berry Farm. And we have plenty of Disney news as well. But first, Luke, we're going to start off this show the way that we start off every show, and that is with a look at the Disney stock. So last time we checked in on it, I believe it was around $88 a share. Do you think it is up, down, or flat?
I'm going to be positive with the release of Little Mermaid and say that maybe up a little.
I mean, she is on the banner of the investor, but no, it's about flat from where we checked on it lately. So not doing so hot, unfortunately. Speaking of not doing so hot, I do need to admit that I already gave Ethan the day off before we decided at the last minute to do a show. So Ethan's not here today. I'm sure it'll probably be about 72 degrees in Anaheim. It'll probably be around 90 in Walt Disney World. It'll probably storm at some point.
I can tell you for sure that there's going to be a storm because it's been storming all week here in Florida. But it hasn't been as hot as it hasn't been as hot as 90. It's probably been
the real feel might be 90.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. But yes, the rain has been cooling it down a little bit. So,
well, sorry about that, but we are going to move on and talk about Walt Disney World and a little bit about Disneyland Paris. But I'm going to bring on our special guest. Hi, Jeremiah.
Hi, guys.
A special guest. He's already changed out of his Little Mermaid shirt.
I did. The storm has hit a little bit already today. As I was leaving Disney's Hollywood Studios, it was definitely some rain was hitting. So I decided to celebrate California and go in and out.
It's a fair thing to do.
But the reason we asked Jeremiah to be on is because he got to go check out the Little Mermaid live action meet and greet. Meet Ariel from the live action story is how they're wording it on this Walt Disney Presents banner here. Very interesting how they have to go about this, and very interesting how long it takes to load. So anyway, you got a chance to meet her. What was that experience like?
It was very positive. The second surprise I've had of the Little Mermaid live action story. I love the movie. I saw it the other day, and I'm sad that Doobie's not on here to go, see, I told you. With the exception of one song that for some reason everybody on the West Coast loves, but everybody on the East Coast hates.
Three guesses which one we're talking about here.
Which one?
The one with Aquafina.
Yes, so I got a chance to go see the movie the other day, and I love meet and greets. This one I was concerned because literally 3 weeks ago, Sully and Monsters, Inc. was in this space, but they transformed it into a beautiful area for Ariel. The queue is artwork. We have the photos up on that article and on our Twitter and on our Instagram, and I think we sent out telegrams with it. So, but
yeah, we attached some. We printed them out, attached them to some dove feet.
We're not doing pigeons anymore. We're doing dove
feet.
We're up to doves. Yeah,
it's slightly more classy
and peaceful.
We can do those at weddings also, not just it's. So the area is if you visited any of the meet and greets in Walt Disney Presents over the years, it's the same area. Behind Ariel, that is actually a large LED screen.
As you can see, I like how it looks pretty convincing, but then you see, because of the way photos work, you can start to see the
the pixels. No, people were commenting about, oh wow, what a great backdrop. I'm like, yeah, it's a screen. Really? And then I had another photo of kind of the side of it. So the area is beautiful. They have some small nods to the movie in there, which I won't say much about if you haven't seen it. But Ariel herself, very fun conversation. I've met with some of the characters on their first day, and usually they're like, uh, but this Ariel was spot on. She was telling us all about her map, and that's Eric's Island, and talking about locations. Just really fun. But be prepared to wait. When we arrived, they posted half-hour wait to be safe, and by the time we made it in and out, it was almost an hour.
Tying them in, in and out. I do love these lights with the artwork and the queue.
So those used to be, and they still are, the way it feels, are LED screens when it was the Monsters Inc., and they would project different things on there. The photos are just literally covers that they put over the screen. I kind of walked up and was feeling it, and then I was like, oh, this is detachable.
Not the best plan.
No, but it's nice to see that they are using that area, and I think hopefully Ariel stays there for a while because she was a great meet and greet. But I think that hopefully they'll go back to the old days of, hey, we can change out the meet and greets daily, or not daily, sorry, with each movie.
Yeah. Well, it looks like she's working a Dolly Parton shift, at least for today.
Yes.
And yeah, 60-minute wait. So that's pretty sizable.
Yeah, and when I arrived, it wasn't too busy, and I arrived shortly after opening, but by the time they opened the door, I think every friend of princesses were behind me in line, and the line, if you're familiar with Walt Disney Presents, was going from the door all the way back past Jungle Cruise and past Sleeping Beauty Castle into the other room. So it was getting long. When we left, they pulled most of the line in, so it wasn't horrible. And they actually did have cast members out around the area saying, hey, do you want to come and meet Ariel? So as normal, the influencers, the bloggers, the friends, the character hunters are the first people there. And then I'm sure if you go next week, she'll probably have a longer wait because everybody will have gone to see the movie, which everybody should go see the movie.
And at least it's inside too. So
yes.
If you're waiting a while, at least you got that air conditioning.
Yeah. And it's, a fun little area. It's fun to draw people in there. Also, you can definitely have one person wait in line if it's a long line. Somebody go see the preview of it and then come back and join them again. I know that when we arrived, like I said, it wasn't a long line, but watching everybody jump in line with their friends. When we left, we saw some other people we knew and walked up to them, and the cast member was right behind us going, you guys can't join the line. You have to go to the end. Like, we understand. But yeah, you mentioned Disneyland Paris. I just saw a video that she made her debut out at Walt Disney Studios Park.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is not quite as an elaborate of a background or area for her, but it's still kind of nice for that park, I guess.
And they made the decision to go with a full-blown show. I don't really know what the show entails just yet, but it's interesting that they went with a show versus meet and greet like they did here in Disneyland too.
Just gotta show off those. What do you call them again? Oh, feet.
Yes.
Yeah, is Mike at Disneyland yet?
I don't know if he's there yet, but yeah, he'll be there. As so we have her at Disney's Hollywood Studios, Walt Disney Studios Park in Disneyland Paris, and at Disneyland she'll be in the Small World Promenade. So that'll be interesting to see what they set up for her there.
The way time zones work, that hasn't happened yet.
Yes. So But
I know Ariel's already taken her siesta in Disneyland Paris, and here she's just waking up, and
she's somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico on her way.
Yeah. Well, without her fin, she doesn't swim that well anymore.
It's a long journey.
So the live action Little Mermaid is now in theaters. I saw that it made like $10 million during previews last night. So that's pretty good. It's 4-day weekend. My guess was 120. We'll see how I do. Jeremiah, we're going to talk about Jurassic Park next. So do you want spoilers, or are you?
I know the dinosaurs eat everybody.
Okay. Well, I just meant for the tribute story. If you want to stick around, or you're welcome to leave either.
I've seen the pictures. I'm good to stick around. If you
All right. Well, let's talk about Jurassic Park. The tribute store, the 30th anniversary tribute store, I believe it is.
Yes.
It is now. Well, it was open for pass holders yesterday at Universal Studios Florida, and Tony went and took just all the photos you could possibly want. You'll get everything from every angle. I think there are 120 photos in this article. It took him literal hours to try to upload properly. He worked very hard. And so, but yeah, it starts off outside of, this is kind of interesting. They just have, this dino laying in the middle of the.
So did you hear the backstory of this?
That's what I was gonna say something about. Did it used to be at the Boneyard?
So originally it was in horror makeup.
Oh, okay.
It
so
was
just
one
across
of
the street
there. And then it went into the Boneyard, and the story that I've heard and read is it was donated to Give Kids the World after they retired it from the park, and they borrowed it back from Give Kids the World with a promise that when they return it, they'll completely refurbish it and the area that it was around. So their Universal's given back to Give Kids the World, and we get a prop that's been around. I don't think it's been 30 years, but it's definitely been there for a while.
So wait, Give Kids the World just has an area with a sick Triceratops? That was the thing that happened?
Yes, I don't know if I would have called it exactly that, but yeah.
Well, isn't that what it is? Isn't it in the movie? This is like...
Yeah.
Hold on. How many pictures of the Triceratops is here? Can we talk
I told
about
you, he got it from every angle. Yes, this is serious.
That is why it took so long to upload. What I think is very weird is just how strange it is walking down Hollywood Boulevard at Universal Studios Florida, and you have the Hollywood theming. Of course, you have the banners for the Jurassic Park stuff there, but then to just randomly come across a sick Triceratops lying down on the ground is quite the juxtaposition.
Just like the old days that Hollywood used to be.
The La Brea Tar Pits. We're going real back.
That was going to be my next statement. So good job.
Thank you.
But like all of the tribute stores, especially the ones they've been doing lately that aren't just like the Halloween Horror Nights, but are more about movies and rides and stuff like that. This looks like a lot of fun, lots of cool details and props and things to explore, as evidenced by the fact that he took 120 photos and put them in an article. So I will put a link to this in the chat if people want to check that out. And then, of course, if you happen to be at Universal this summer, presumably, I don't know how long it's open for, but
it'll
should be there probably
middle August.
Yeah.
Middle August. There you go. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Before Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of merchandise. So if you're looking to celebrate the 30th anniversary in some way, that you can do it with t-shirts, spirit jerseys, hats, you name it, whatever you want.
But remember, all this merchandise will also be available at Universal Studios Hollywood. And on universalshop.com, you can buy everything too. Click on the link in our... Oh, wait, we don't get anything from that. Never mind.
We should. And before I let you go, Jeremiah, you're a Knott's Berry Farm fan, aren't you?
I am. I haven't looked at these pictures, but I'm all... No, go ahead, because I haven't gotten a chance. I'm very excited. When I was there a few weeks ago, the walls were still up.
So this is the new Fiesta Village area of the park, and as you can see, if anyone is familiar with how the Fiesta Village used to look, this is a complete 180. It used to be like very.
This looks like the entrance to Universal Hollywood.
It does look similar, yeah.
Yeah,
it used to be very like garish colors.
Or the Santa Ana train station.
But now, like this was an arcade and a store before. They transformed it into an indoor restaurant. It looks so much better than it used to.
Yeah, but sadly, they still have, and I will be the first person to admit I will go on them all the time, but the attractions that are in that area are very much carnival attractions.
But to that point, they have gave them all a little like minimal retheme. So like Soul Spin now, which is the weird one on the arm that kind of goes like that. You can kind of see it off in the background next to the carousel. But they gave it like a skin. You could see it now. It's got so it's fits in with the area a little bit more than the like bright colors that it used to be.
Does he cross over into the other side that has been open to see their completed area, or is it all just the main square? Oh, I love the stage area. That looks great.
Yeah. Multi-level. They added a water feature in the area in front of the Jaguar coaster, which already was like a pretty decently themed area, given that the station is inside that temple. But just adding those little water features, something they definitely did not need to do. But
I think I rode that coaster. I don't really remember.
It's
announced once.
It is one that I could see you easily riding.
I think so. I don't think I had any version
coaster. You get a tour of the park on it.
Yeah.
About all
okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did do that then. So the one time I've been at Knott's Berry Farm was actually for a taping of MasterChef. Becca was working at a place and they were looking for people to come, and there was a contest between the two teams. So you'd go get they assigned you either a burger or fish and chips. And so then if you were a burger, you got a burger from Team Blue and then Team Red, and you ate them both and compared them and then voted for a team. So that was kind of fun. And we got to enjoy Knott's Berry Farm for free. So that's my Knott's story.
Knott's Berry Farm is definitely a great park. I mean, it's really one of the first family parks out there, and then became a theme park in the mid 60s. And as any good horror fan knows, it is the home of the original Scary Farm haunt attraction that has inspired Universal and everything else over the years. I love all the added things they put in there. It looks so good.
I mean, the statues and then the painting or the wraps that they have on like La Revolution in the background, like they match in together, and it looks so much. I have been so impressed with everything that Knott's Berry Farm has done in like the last 6 or 7 years. Like every year they've had a project of some sort. Like last year it was or the year before it was like working on the new pizzeria and the redone boardwalk area, like the Roaring 20s, and every time they just blow it out of the park and turn areas of the park that were kind of dated into somewhere you actually want to spend time in.
How many people do you think are gonna be like, "Oh, it's Dante"?
Yeah,
everyone.
That is exact. I would say that they planned that.
Yeah. As Mike was saying the other day, Knott's Berry Farm and Disneyland borrow from each other quite a bit over the years.
Oh yeah.
So, so wait, this ride, this swing thing is called Revolution?
No.
La Revolution.
Oh, okay.
Totally. La Revolution.
No.
Okay, well, just ruin my Beatles joke that I was setting.
Oh, yes. I'm thinking Montezuma's Revenge is like, no, that's. I'm sorry, Montezuma's Revenge isn't going to be done
Montezuma Tale of the Hidden Temple or something.
Don't say that. Then Tony and Chris's ears just popped up. They're like, Hidden Temple, let's talk about it.
It's actually not going to be available this year, or at least this summer. It's Montezuma's Revenge is a coaster that they've had there since the 1970s. It had a revolutionary for the time flywheel launch, where like something attaches onto the vehicle and kind of pulls it forward. But that is now kind of, it's not something that's made anymore, so it's harder to get parts for that sort of thing. So they're redoing the launch system. Supposedly it's going to have random launches. Yeah. So sometimes you might start off going forward, sometimes you might start off going backwards. And they're going to add like show scenes and stuff, or like show lighting. So it sounds exciting, whatever they're going to do with it whenever it does end up opening.
Yeah, it was supposed to be open for this, and then because of delays, not their part.
Storms.
Yes. Oh yeah, they are missing a lot of parts. When I was there, like they hadn't even completed the coaster itself, and to have to get it all together, test it, and do everything. If they have the parts by summer, we'll be lucky if they have it by Halloween.
Well, Jeremiah, thank you for joining us and sharing your theme park knowledge on these topics. Hopefully you stay out of the rain and enjoy being a gangster, perhaps.
I'm going to go back to watching America Born Chinese.
Okay, yes. It is what you think.
Fun show so far. I enjoy it.
Very cool.
Next time I want Ethan twice, though.
Okay. I'll make you a bespoke Ethan report just about Central Florida.
I'll take it. I'll see you guys later.
Bye. Thank you. We're gonna stay in Southern California though, because over on this Disney show, I figure we'll talk about Disney. They shared some new concept art for the ongoing Pixar Place hotel refurbishment. So, Luke, this is the lobby, I take it?
Yeah, this is the lobby, and I can't even picture where in the current lobby that is.
Yeah, I can't either.
So they're going to be completely redoing that hotel, which is great, because right now it just kind of looks like a 1990s Hilton or DoubleTree that hasn't really been updated.
I do have a funny story about this water slide. In the original Disney Parks blog, they said that it was 168 or 186 feet tall, which would be extremely tall. As like
yes.
the Tower of Terror. It's 186 feet long. Totally different thing. But yeah, this is a Nemo themed area that'll be at the.
I'm gonna miss the name of the of what it used to be, because it used to be called, probably still is technically called, California Streamin', to kind of go along with California Screamin'. Name doesn't make as much sense anymore these days, but I'm still gonna miss it.
Yeah, this looks nice though. Is that like shuffleboard with low Luna stars?
Yeah, and then something to do with bow. I don't know what that is.
Could be. Nice. Yeah, it looks like something you like maybe toss them back and forth. So like maybe try to land them on the bow. I don't know. It's just a total guess, but it looks like some games while you watch the fireworks there.
They should have put a little mini golf course up there. I feel like that would have been fun.
It almost, at first I thought it was, like looking at it from a distance before I realized it was more like a shuffleboard.
Yeah, it's a big deck area, so they've got room for it.
And then the Great Maple Modern Eatery.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is a third party coming into a Disney hotel, and I don't think we have a lot of that, at least in Disney hotels in the States. So it'll be interesting to see what they have to offer.
That looks like curling. That could be interesting in Southern California.
Get Martin Short.
It does take place in Toronto, so there does make some sense. So is this a new thing, or is this taking over PCH?
It looks like PCH. I think that's the location of it.
Yeah, expanding that like outdoor part of it. Does PCH have any outdoor dining now, or just kind of the room for it?
I think it has outdoor dining, but I don't know how often they use it.
The last time I ate at PCH, it was okay, but it was like not very exciting stuff. But this looks nice as well. This almost looks like something I'd expect to see. Actually, I'll tell you, I mean this in a nice way. It looks like an airport bar.
Yeah.
Like a nice airport lounge, or like I also think of like Vegas. There's some like in some of the tucked in the hotels. Sometimes they'll have things that look like this. I don't know why that was. I guess those are the only places I travel to airports in Las Vegas. But yeah, and where is this area?
That's also in the PCH Grill area.
Okay.
So I think it's just going to take over for that whole area. But it might.
Oh, wow.
I think they had a bar before. So
yeah, but not one quite as big as this.
Oh, there is a bar just outside in the lobby area. So that might be where that is.
Okay.
I've been informed that I have actually had the Great Maple before. Leftover wise, not my own. They have I just looked it up. They have locations in Newport Beach, San Diego, and Pasadena.
Okay.
So this will be their 4th location, and it already says on their website, Pixar Place Hotel coming soon.
So yeah, I think that's they haven't given us a date. They even said like, oh, stay tuned for a date. I think it's supposed to be winter. So by the end of the year, that should be open, which is kind of crazy because I mean, I guess I haven't seen updates in a while, but it feels like a lot of work to do in that amount of time.
I've seen the outside looks close to completion, but I haven't seen any updates from the inside at all.
Yeah,
they're probably going to have to close off the lobby and move check-in somewhere else, and I don't know enough about the setup, but
well, check-in has already moved. Yeah, I think you're already checking in like the ballroom or something like that.
Okay.
But now we're going to go back to the East Coast. So today was the day that the Star Cruiser reservations reopened after being paused so they could reaccommodate people. But ahead of that, the Wrap gave us a deep dive on kind of the turmoil of the thing. So what did we learn from this report, Luke?
So there were a few little details there about what possibly could be, how they could possibly save the Galactic Star Cruiser, and there were a few ideas thrown around, such as like giving tours of the facility for guests staying at Walt Disney World, so like other hotel guests, so you could have access to the bar, the dinner show, and the gift shop without actually staying there. That was one idea.
Sounds like an idea that every Disney fan I know had. Yeah, go ahead.
It would be the reason to get me to actually go to it, because I could probably afford to. And then another option that they threw around was to retheme the hotel to the Mandalorian, given just how popular the Mandalorian is these days. I don't know how far they got into that, but supposedly there were Imagineers at the hotel as recently as last week, looking at ways to kind of update and change the experience. But all of these plans were shut down by Bob Iger. There was no backstory or information given as to why he shut them down, just kind of them saying he was the one that shut the ideas down.
I guess he's just on that tax write-off binge. So
yeah,
rather than try to, this was Chapek's. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he has good reason, but I do think that they could have tried something. Maybe they still ultimately wouldn't have worked out, but I mean, it feels weird that they just gave up entirely.
Well, I guess there always is the possibility that they are trying something and we just don't know about it yet.
Yeah, I think I still think, like I was talking, I know Jeremiah doesn't feel this way, but I still think that they could turn it into a more traditional hotel experience. Maybe not the full, I don't think, adding a pool or anything is going to happen. I guess it could, because there's tons of spaces that you as a guest aboard don't see that maybe they could use. There's things, I think they should keep like the bridge the same. Like that should be just a area, a play area, but some of the other interactive things that they have on like the lower levels, I think they could gut and turn into more practical hotel amenities.
I think
that's just
just retrofitting, and obviously there'd be stuff they'd have to do, but like they could build an indoor pool. Who's to say that there isn't indoor pools on spaceships? That's something that they could easily do.
Well, then it doesn't even need, it's just a Star Wars themed hotel. It doesn't need to be a deep themed hotel. You don't have to be in story anymore. So it could totally have a pool. It's just, I just mean like the space of having it. But anyway, hi Alexander, and happy belated birthday to Nathaniel. That'd be fun. Oh, of course, spoilers. This suggests that the First Order doesn't win normally. It'll be interesting.
Ruined for me.
What special things they do for that last one, if anything. But yeah, sad story. But from that depressing, we're going to get to our favorite segment here.
I think it's just a rule that anytime I'm on the show, we have to have food. Has to happen.
I will say this one we'll probably get through a little bit faster than normal because it gets a little redundant. But we'll go through it anyway. So this is the foodie guide we got for Pride Month, which is in June, which is right around the corner now. So lots of different things at both Walt Disney World and at Disneyland. So starting off at Walt Disney World, Animal Kingdom Lodge will have these painted confetti cakes. And then as well, Art of Animation, it looks like, is that this one?
Yeah.
The vanilla cake roll. Yeah. Both of these look good. They're desserts that are painted rainbow. I will say this looks particularly good. This lemon cream cheese filling, sweet cream, and white chocolate decor. That sounds,
yeah, that looks fun.
It does. It looks fun and delicious. I'm a big fan of funfetti, so I can already tell you that this is all in my wheelhouse. I mean, rainbow sprinkles alone are.
I feel like
people put rainbow sprinkles on things, I'm just like, oh, this is 10 times better already.
I feel like funfetti is a word that Doobie would not like.
Probably, but I also feel like it's probably copywritten or trademarked by Pillsbury or whoever.
Yeah.
And then here we have what appears to be a cinnamon roll with different colors of icing on it. I mean, sure, it's
fun. I'm sure that's a pain to put that icing on.
Probably. I would hope that they have like a thing that they can just do all at once instead of having to get the individual colors. That'll be at the Boardwalk Deli. Once again, them introducing a bakery item at the thing that they renamed the deli.
I think that's a sticking point for you, Mr. Burbank.
It's silly. It must have been something in this bakery, in this cake lady's contract. But anyway. Yeah. Over at Carousel Coffee, which, if you'll recall, is the little shop that everyone freaked out about because it wasn't themed enough, even though it's just a tiny little corner shop that sells coffee. Pride Italian cookies with frangipane, raspberry jam, and dark chocolate shell. I don't love raspberry jam, but still, that sounds delicious. Dark chocolate shell is up my alley. And then a Pride mousse cake, passion fruit mousse, strawberry crunch, and purple glitter. Mirror glaze, that's like the Contempo Cafe. Either one of these doing anything for you?
Not really.
Yeah. Polynesian Village doing what they do, giving us a version of a Dole Whip. This is vanilla, pink, and blue soft serve float with the pineapple Fanta and topped with sprinkles and white chocolate decor.
That one actually looks like a good time.
Yeah, I like the idea of it. I don't love well, first of all, pineapple Fanta. And,
what? Yeah. That's the best Fanta.
I don't really like fruit sodas, really. Maybe like a Sprite every once in a while, but it's a little too sweet for me. Here we have, these look like, just a classic cake dipped in red chocolate. It's dark chocolate. Again, with the raspberry jam, ruining everything. But it looks like a very little bit of raspberry jam. It's probably just in between the layers here. So I don't think it'll probably make too much of a difference. So I would give that a shot at the Riviera. Wilderness Lodge, they also have the cinnamon roll that we talked about. And then at various locations, the Pride strawberry cupcake, but with sprinkles and a Pride flag. Sounds well, fresh strawberry topped. But yeah, it looks nice. As do these, your traditional dome cake, another cupcake, just variations on the same theme. I will say that this, though, looks delicious. This is from Woody's Lunchbox, one of their Lunchbox tarts that they are known for. This one is guava-filled pastry with coated purple vanilla fondant and topped with rainbow sprinkles and a sour ribbon candy, probably from Goofy. And
it looks like a lot of fun.
It does. It reminds me of the Rainbow Cat. It's more like more than Pride. It actually reminds me of old internet memes. But guava filled that flavor could be interesting. Might be a little too weird for me, but I would be willing to give it a shot if I had the chance. Creature Comforts will have this Pride mousse. Dome cakes have just become like Walt Disney World's thing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those recently.
Ever since Amorettes, like they're, I guess because they look nice and you can do a bunch of different things with them. But yeah,
yes, you can pick it up easily too.
Yeah, I don't. They're always smaller than you expect. Like obviously they have full size ones, but if you get like a mini one, it's always smaller than you expect. I
think we've got another one coming up in the Little Mermaid foodie guy too.
This one sounds more interesting to me as far as flavors. Lemon chiffon cake, raspberry lemonade mousse, white chocolate glaze, and the white chocolate crispy pearls. See, the fact that it's a raspberry lemonade mousse rather than being like a raspberry jam makes me more inclined to try it. I feel like it's not as the textures I'm not as opposed to. We got another Pride cupcake and a color-changing cocktail, a playful floral cocktail that changes colors before your eyes. It's got fun. Empress 1908 gin, Saint Germain elderflower liqueur, and peach schnapps liqueur. Is that for you, Luke? I know you don't like tequila, but this is gin. How do you feel about gin?
That looks pretty good. I've never been to Tiffin's itself. I've been to the Nomad Lounge, but
okay.
But Tiffin's is somewhere I want to try out one of these days.
I want to see what the color changes to. They only show us the purple. I don't know what it's
right.
Gonna skip over just the dome cake and some other things that don't look that exciting. And big piece of cake. Who doesn't like a big piece of cake? Let me just skip down to what we came for, and that is the popcorn bucket. This is the popcorn bucket, right? Or is this a sipper?
I can't remember.
Keychain.
Should say.
This one's the sipper, but there is a popcorn bucket up here. Yeah. So they have the Mickey's, the balloon-shaped ones with Pride colors. And then I think this is probably better.
I like that sipper. That's very disco.
Yeah, that looks really cool. So that will be available starting June 14th. It looks like a bunch of Disneyland resort locations. And this is the Pride Night menu that it's sold out, so you can't get these things. But I did want to mention that the pork belly sandwich looks delicious.
I have been given some behind-the-scenes information on just how it changes colors, that drink from Tiffin's.
Okay.
Empress Gin changes from deep purple to pink with the addition of lemon juice.
Okay. I think so I once, in Las Vegas, if you can believe it, at the check-in at the Hilton, they gave us this tea that started off blue and they added something or maybe they put lemon in it and it turned, like you could see it pouring out blue and turned purple. So it's probably the same idea. Tony Betty pointing out that they call Tiffin's the art of Joe Rohde. Sounds accurate. I haven't been, but I can believe it. So that was another fun thing. One other thing I wanted to mention before we get to the segment I'm most looking forward to today is we were talking about The Little Mermaid earlier. There is a special version of the soundtrack that is going to be, you can only buy it through HSN. And so I watched this stream the other day that they did, and they said that this was an exclusive, and I kind of just ignored it because these days exclusive doesn't really mean what people think it does, but it really is exclusive to them, and it has the deleted song "Impossible Child" that's going to be performed by King Triton that was cut from the film. They've teased it about it being released, and here it is. I don't know if it'll get a wider release eventually, but it's on this special HSN version that you can purchase from their site. So it's got the rest of the score. It's also not too expensive, buying from HSN. I didn't know how much it would be, but it's $15. I guess that has free shipping. So you can take a look at that on the HSN site and hear that exclusive song, Be the Coolest Person, to sing the song that nobody else knows. And I perfectly vamped long enough for Luke to come back.
Wonderful.
Yes. So Luke, now we are going to get to, well, first let me check. I see what you said now. Tony says they even have, or at least had, give you collector's prints as you leave. Did not know that. So I think he's still talking about Tiffin's.
Oh, nice.
Yes. But we are now going to get to the educational part of the show. So, Luke.
So, Kyle.
We're going to start off with a couple of birthdays again.
Okay.
First up, this is on this day in 1962, a comedian, fairly well-known comedian, oddball comedian, who has only one major Disney role that I know of in an animated film, but it's fairly beloved, and he's repeated it a couple of times. Do you have any guesses who that could be?
Let's go with Nathan Lane.
It's not Nathan Lane.
Okay. Am I warm?
Kind of. This would be a movie from the later 90s that he was a part of. He is not a main character, but he is a memorable henchman.
Henchman. Okay.
I guess that's what I would call it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Part of a duo. You might not even know which role he played. Anyway, it is Bobcat Goldthwait who played Pain.
Yeah, I would never have guessed him.
Okay, well, then I'm glad I gave up. Yes, happy birthday to him. Born on this day in 1962. Next up is someone who has a couple of Disney credits. Oh, born on this day in 1966. But I will say she's probably more well-known for her role in a WB property. Any guess who that should be? She also was the partner of someone who has a number of Disney credits.
Yeah, bless you. Yeah, I don't know. That's a little vague. I'm not sure.
Think of, so she's in a live-action remake that also had a sequel.
Angelina Jolie?
No, that's a good guess.
Okay.
She's also in a major film franchise that may or may not have lands themed to it in a rival theme park.
Tilda Swinton?
No, it's Helena Bonham Carter. She is the Red Queen in the Alice movies, and she is Bellatrix Lestrange in the Harry Potter franchise.
Was Tilda Swinton even in Alice in Wonderland? Because that is exactly what I was thinking, and I don't know if she is.
Being the sequel, I don't think she's in the first. I don't know for sure. Tony reminding us, Bobcat inadvertently announced New World of Color Goldthwait. That was when when James Gunn was fired and he was sticking up for him, and said that they wouldn't want to use his voice for the New World of Color villainess. So years before that show actually came out, he announced it because of that.
If that show is even a thing anymore, I don't think it is.
We'll see.
I can't remember if it came back last year or not.
Luke, on this day in 1986,
okay,
a classic attraction, classic now, I don't know about the time, got an update.
Classic attraction got an update.
Yes, debuted on this day in 1986.
We're looking at the Country Bear Vacation Hoedown.
We are not, but you are
okay.
On. We are in Walt Disney World.
Okay, classic attraction got.
I'm saying update. Classic now. At the time, it was not it might not have been as classic because it was only a few years old.
Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. Yes, got an update with narration by Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
Yes, I'm proud of you.
One of the best iterations of this attraction. And this was the version that gave us Tomorrow's Child. So
yes, I thank you for mentioning that because I forgot to put it on my notes, but it was in the write-up.
Yep. Great stuff.
Speaking of updates, on this date in 1990, an area of Walt Disney World got a new theme.
Are we talking theme park?
It's a theme. It's a part of a theme park. Yes, I just didn't want to say which theme park.
Okay.
Can't narrow it down too much.
We're looking at Mickey Starland.
Mickey Starland. Yes. Open in the area that was Mickey's birthday land.
I don't think there was too much of a change between Birthday Land and Starland, just because Birthday Land was for his birthday, and then when it wasn't his birthday anymore, they're like, oh, we'll keep it around. Let's just give it a less birthday-ish name.
I think it's a cooler name. I think Starland sounds fantastic. I don't know if it was lived up to that name, but it was cool.
Yeah, no, I only ever saw it when it was Toontown Fair, which I think happened in '96, sometime around then. So
okay. This one's kind of a weird one to describe, but on this day in 2000, the last of a certain event kicked off. So this is the start of a last thing that happened on this day in 2000.
Yeah, that's...
It was a theme park thing. An event that would take place annually in a theme park and no longer does as of 2000.
Is it something to do with like the Disney Club, maybe?
I actually might not have the date correct on it. Let me double check that because that doesn't necessarily make sense. I might have written it down wrong. Hold on.
Holding.
You keep thinking, and I will keep looking. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm stupid.
See, 2000 always makes me
I have it wrong. But... I have it wrong entirely. It's still 2000, but it's the final of the season. So it's the last day. So yeah, it's nothing. Never mind. But it was Star Wars weekends. I guess it was the last day of the season.
It was the last day of that
season. I was like, wait, no, that's way too early to be gone.
Yeah.
So never mind. Sorry about that. But luckily, I have one more, so that is not our last one. On this day, in 2017, a movie that is part of a multi-film franchise for Disney opened in theaters. Can you guess?
Are we Guardians Volume 2?
No.
Okay.
More films than that, and Disney branded. I'll give you a huge hint there.
Disney branded. Okay. The Lion King?
No.
Oh, one of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes, this one was Dead Men Tell No Tales. The fifth movie. I think that is still the last movie.
I was going to say, I think that's the most recent. The fifth and the fourth kind of blend together in my head.
Yeah, fourth was on Stranger Tides, right?
Yeah.
And so let's see if we can do this. They're easier than the Fast and Furious ones to remember. There was Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of Black Pearl, and then there was... What was that?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got this. Dead Men Tell No Tales. And then
that was this one. No, Dead Man Tell No Tales was the fifth one.
Oh no, Dead Man's Chest. That's what
Dead
it
Man's
was.
Chest was the second one.
Dead Man's Chest, and then
At World's End, and then on Stranger Tide, and then this one. Okay, we did it. Now, the Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious,
Tokyo Drift. I know that's the third one.
Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6. Furious 7, The Fate of the Furious.
You're
9.
Already, which one's Too Fast, Too Furious?
That one's the second one.
Oh, that makes sense.
Fast,
yeah.
Furious. Anyway, I don't know 9, but then
what a
10
great
is
franchise.
Fast X. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Luke, do you have anything else you wanted to mention about life?
No, nothing going on about life. We got a 3-day weekend coming up ahead of us.
We do have a 3-day weekend. Yes, we will not be back on Monday. Presumably, we will take the day off. Also, sadly, Doobie is away, so we will not have trivia on Saturday. So if you're like me, that just means you will sit at home and whine to yourself. But he will be back on Tuesday, as far as I know. So keep an eye out for that. And Luke, thank you again for filling in, especially on short notice. I think it was about a half hour ago. I'm like, I guess we should probably do a show, or a half hour before we started, rather.
You are so welcome.
Thank you. All right. Well, we will see you all after a lovely weekend.
Have a good weekend, everybody.